All righty. Finished the game plan. We'll come in early tomorrow, 7:30 team meeting, and then jump on a plane at noon and head down to Austin and get ready for a big matchup with the Longhorns that we're really looking forward to. On the injury front, Chuma was back today. No, you'll ask about that, but feeling better, doing well, and practiced well today. With that, I'll take any questions that you have.
What are you expecting weather-wise?
Right now they say it's about 50-50. I know they got that tropical depression down there that's producing a lot of rain. You know, we've worked every day with wet balls, both in center quarterback exchange and run mesh, as well as individual catching drills, just to teach wideouts how to body catch, how to catch without gloves, quarterbacks how to hold the ball lighter, don't squeeze it so it doesn't slip out of your hand. All those things that happen to you in wet weather. Don't get a lot out here, so it's good training for us for what we do. But it's supposed to rain over the weekend. The lesser chance is Saturday night, but they're still calling for a 50-50 chance.
Have you told those guys about playing in Texas and that humidity and stuff like that?
They've seen it. I mean, we always, each and every time we go on the road, we show pictures of the stadium, what's it like, being able to show videos of what the atmosphere is like, and be able to show them so they're comfortable with it when they walk in too. So yes, we talk about it. We talk about it in team meetings.
Does the weather change much of what you guys are able to do?
Just I tell you what, Joey. It just depends on how much it's. If it's raining sideways and blowing really hard, probably a couple less passes. But if it's just misting or light rain, not much. You'll stay as balanced as possible.
Do you know if your quarterback's ever played in rain before?
I believe he's had a couple. The way he spins it, I've watched him for 3 days spin it with a wet ball. It doesn't look anything different, so which is a good thing. Sam was the same way, but it's good to get the work, even if it doesn't rain. It's good to have it because we'll get it. There's only I've only had 2 here at the Coliseum in my 9 years here, but we will get it at some point in time.
Between the elements and just you mentioned earlier in the week how many plays you expect with the no huddle and all that, do you think this will test and the humidity and all those things? Do you think this will test your team's conditioning and all that like they haven't been tested before?
Yeah, I think our team's in very good condition, but we do plan on playing a lot of guys. We've talked about that as a staff, is kind of taking the approach we did at UNLV, being able to roll guys in waves when given the opportunity with substitution. And so we expect a lot of folks to play. Just in case, I remember this game last year. Yeah, it was double overtime, but we were in the 80s, as far as 80 play count going into the late fourth quarter. So to be able to take some reps off people, we are going to roll and waterfall as substitution.
What do you remember about Chase in that game?
I just remember this look in his eye of confidence and no fear, and like he was made for the moment. And it was neither kick. I totally felt like, man, he's going to make both of these. He just had that air of confidence. There wasn't any deer in the headlights, and he drilled both of them. But a big opportunity for him, and he made the most of it.
Where do you think you've gotten better this week, during the week, compared to last week?
Dan, I'm hoping, as far as my major concern is the protection versus zone pressures. There's such an art of confusion with Coach Orlando's defense that there's a lot of moving parts. We played a 3-4 front last week, but it's not as much movement and just unique and exotic pressures and not really having a scouting report because each and every week is different and unique. So we're going to have to do a great job of communication as a staff with our kids about what's going on within game, sit them down, draw it up, and be able to diagnose and get them on the right people.
One of the things that the players were saying, it's some of the communication between themselves out there on the field, one lineman to the other. And do you have a sense that?
Well, it's a big part of it, Dan. Anytime that you go out on the road, especially in a hostile environment, that I imagine Texas is going to be even louder than Stanford, bigger stadium. It's a night game. They're a big game for both universities, so it is going to be loud. And the one thing that you try to always get them to do is talk. Play calls are so unique that nobody knows the code behind them. I mean, Spider 2 Y banana, as Coach used to say. You have no idea what that is. So communicate with each other with the calls and make sure that if we're all wrong, we're all right. Just make sure we're all on the same page.
how much sense can you get for that in practice? The offensive line's ready. And this last week, did you have a sense that things might not be totally tight there?
No, I felt like we were tight going into. I felt in the first game we held up very well in protection and in the run game. I thought we did well in the run game. Last week we had a couple physical beats out there on the edge, as well as 2 twist games that got us. So hopefully we shore that up this week. I think that T's got a good plan of being able to do several things with the quarterback to be able to get it out of his hand quick or move him and get him off his spot a little bit. So there's some things that can be done to help.
Is there a matchup you think will be key?
I really feel like it's their pass rushers and their pressures against our offensive line. That was going back and watching last year's film. That was one of the things. How many times that Sam was off his spot. And what I mean by that is instead of that nice rhythm 3, look downfield and get rid of the ball, he was forced to get off his spot and move and have to create. I'm hoping to keep that pocket integrity to be able to have a young quarterback be able to diagnose and see the coverage.
Let's do one more.
You've spoken a lot about their pass rush and pressure. They only have 1 sack. Is there something beyond the numbers that is not reflected?
Well, I tell you, they are a bunch that I know is trying to play a little bit more coverage with some young DBs. When you look at their defensive front, every man is a senior. But when you look at the back end, they have 2 freshmen that are back there, a freshman corner and a freshman safety. So they're probably doing a couple things. They've been known to bring 5, 6-man pressures. It's a little bit more 4-man rush right now, trying to help some young DBs grow up.
Okay.
All righty, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.